Most people will never break free from mediocrity, and the worst part, they don't even realize it. Look around. How many people do you know who are truly fulfilled, financially free, and living the life they once dreamed of? How many people are actually excited to wake up every morning chasing something bigger than themselves? The answer is, not many. Because the harsh truth is, most people are stuck in a cycle of just getting by. Being average isn't about lacking talent or intelligence, it's about settling. It's about accepting a routine that keeps you in place instead of pushing forward. It's about falling into the trap of comfort, letting years slip by without real progress. The reality is, if you're not actively growing, you're shrinking. And if you're not choosing to level up, life will decide for you by keeping you exactly where you are, or worse, dragging you down. The scariest part, most people don't even see it happening. They wake up, go to work, complain about the same things, and convince themselves they'll figure it out later, but later never comes. Their biggest dreams fade, their ambitions shrink, and one day they wake up wondering where all that time went. So I have to ask, are you really okay with being average? Or are you ready to face the truth and do something about it? The reason so many people remain average isn't because they lack ability. It's because they've been conditioned to accept mediocrity. From a young age, we're taught to play it safe. Go to school, get a job, pay your bills, and don't take too many risks. Society rewards comfort, not ambition. And over time, people fall into patterns that feel normal, but are actually holding them back. Comfort-seeking habits are the silent killers of progress. People chase entertainment over education, distractions over discipline, and convenience over challenge. They avoid failure at all costs, not realizing that failure is the very thing that leads to growth. And when they finally hit a wall, when they realize their life isn't where they want it to be, they don't look inward. They blame circumstances, bad luck, or the people around them. Fear is another major trap. Fear of rejection, fear of looking stupid, fear of stepping into the unknown. So instead of taking a leap, they stay exactly where they are. They tell themselves now isn't the right time, or maybe next year. But the years keep passing and nothing changes. If you feel stuck, understand this. It's not because you're incapable, it's because you've been tricked into believing that good enough is good enough. It's not. And if you don't actively break out of this cycle, you'll stay in it for the rest of your life. There's a difference between living and existing. The sad reality is most people are just existing. They wake up, go through their routine, and move through life on autopilot. They aren't pushing themselves, they aren't challenging their limits, and they aren't working towards something that truly excites them. They're just there, surviving, not thriving. Think about this. If you stopped trying to improve, where would you be in 5 years? Would you be ahead of where you are now? Or would you be stuck in the same cycle with nothing to show for it? Life is like an escalator going down. If you're not actively walking up, you're being pulled lower. That's how stagnation works. It doesn't just keep you in place, it drags you backwards. And if you're not intentional about your growth, you will become a victim of time. So ask yourself, when was the last time you did something uncomfortable? When was the last time you took a risk that scared you? If you can't remember, that's a problem. That means you're settling into a life of routine and predictability instead of pushing towards something greater. Existing is easy. Living requires effort. And if you don't take control of your future now, you'll wake up one day realizing you wasted years just getting through life instead of actually building one. The truth about mediocrity is brutal, but here's the good news. You don't have to stay stuck. The cycle of average is real and it's relentless. But the moment you become aware of it, the moment you stop making excuses and start taking ownership, you gain the power to break free. Most people will never do this. They will continue living the same year over and over again, convincing themselves that they have time, that someday things will magically change. But if you've made it this far, you already know the truth. Nothing changes unless you change. The choice is simple. Keep doing what you've always done and stay exactly where you are, or decide right now that you will no longer accept just okay, that you will push yourself harder, take bigger risks, and demand more from your life. Because here's the thing, success isn't reserved for the smartest, the richest, or the luckiest. It belongs to those who refuse to stay the same. It belongs to those who choose growth, who embrace discomfort, and who are willing to put in the work when no one is watching. So what will it be? Stay comfortable and stay average? Or step up, take action, and create the life you were meant to live? The decision is yours, and it starts right now. The comfort zone is where dreams go to die. It feels safe, it feels familiar, and that's exactly why it's so dangerous. Comfort tricks you into thinking you're okay, when in reality, you're stuck. It numbs your ambition, slows your progress, and blinds you to the fact that you're standing still while the world moves forward. Think about the people who have accomplished great things. Do you think they got there by staying comfortable? Do you think they reached success by doing what was easy? No. Every major breakthrough, every success story, every game changer happened outside the comfort zone. But most people don't want to hear this. They want to believe success can come without struggle. They convince themselves that their current situation is good enough and that they'll take action someday. But someday never comes. And before they know it, they've spent years watching opportunities pass them by because they were too afraid to step into the unknown. If you never challenge yourself, you'll never grow. If you never embrace discomfort, you'll never rise above where you are now. And if you keep choosing what's easy, life will make the hard choices for you. Comfort isn't just holding you back, it's silently destroying your potential. And the only way to escape it is to do the very thing that scares you the most. Comfort feels safe, but here's the ugly truth. It's an illusion. You might think you're protecting yourself by playing it safe, avoiding risks, and staying in familiar territory. But in reality, you're losing something far more valuable than comfort: opportunity. Every time you choose to stay where you are instead of pushing forward, you give up something. You give up growth. You give up learning. You give up the chance to build something extraordinary. And what do you gain? A temporary feeling of safety that will eventually turn into regret. Think of a warm bed on a freezing morning. It feels impossible to leave, right? But if you stay in bed all day, what happens? You miss out, you waste time, you fall behind. That's exactly how the comfort zone works. It lulls you into a false sense of security while outside life moves on without you. You don't feel the damage at first, but over time you start to notice. The opportunities you ignored, gone. The skills you never developed, now a weakness. The risks you were too afraid to take, now someone else took them and succeeded while you stayed the same. Playing it safe is the most dangerous choice you can make because in the end, you don't just lose time, you lose who you could have been. There's a battle happening inside you every single day, and whether you realize it or not, that battle is deciding your future. On one side, there's fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. Fear tells you to stay where it's comfortable. It whispers that you're not ready, that it's too risky, that you might not be good enough. And every time you listen, fear wins. On the other side, there's growth. Growth is uncomfortable. It demands effort, risk, and persistence. It forces you to face challenges and push beyond what you think you're capable of. Growth doesn't care about how you feel. It cares about who you're becoming. But here's the simple truth. If you always take the easy path, you will always get the easiest results. Mediocrity. Growth is hard, but do you know what's harder? Waking up years from now in the same place, wondering what could have been. Looking back at all the chances you didn't take, realizing that the only thing standing between you and the life you wanted was your own hesitation. Fear will always be there, but it's up to you whether it controls you or fuels you. Because the people who succeed, they feel fear just like you, they just choose to move forward anyway. So how do you break free? How do you stop letting comfort control your life and finally take action? First, you must accept this truth. Comfort is a choice, and so is growth. It starts with one thing, doing something uncomfortable every single day. It doesn't have to be big, it just has to push you. Wake up earlier, speak up in a meeting, say yes to an opportunity that scares you, challenge yourself to do something that forces you to grow. Second, embrace failure. Stop waiting for the perfect moment, stop waiting to feel ready. The only way to grow is to start messy, unprepared, and uncertain. The people who succeed aren't the ones who never fail, they're the ones who fail and keep going. Third, ask yourself, when was the last time you did something that made you uncomfortable? If you can't remember, that's a problem. Because the longer you stay in the comfort zone, the harder it is to escape. And finally, understand this. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to pull you out of mediocrity. It's on you. Your future, your growth, your success, it's all in your hands. So stop waiting, start doing, because the longer you wait, the deeper you sink. Your habits are the foundation of your future. Average habits create an average life. Think about your daily routine. What does it consist of? Waking up, checking your phone, maybe working a 9 to 5, watching TV at night, and going to bed? Does that sound familiar? If so, this routine is quietly shaping your future. And it's not going to lead you anywhere extraordinary. Your habits aren't just small actions. They are the building blocks of your life. Every time you decide to skip the gym, waste time on distractions, or avoid uncomfortable work, you are reinforcing the path you've chosen, the path of mediocrity. It's easy to overlook the power of your daily routine. After all, what's 1 hour of wasted time? What's one missed workout? But the truth is, those small, seemingly insignificant choices add up. They accumulate over time, and they define who you become. If you want to live a life that's different from the crowd, you have to make different choices. That means breaking free from the habits that keep you stagnant and replacing them with habits that move you forward. If you don't take control of your daily routine, your routine will take control of you. Your future is built on your habits. The question is, what habits are you building today? Success is not about one big decision. It's about the thousands of tiny choices you make every day. The most successful people don't make one extraordinary decision that changes everything. They make hundreds of small, seemingly insignificant decisions that compound over time. They choose discipline over comfort, focus over distraction, growth over stagnation. These micro decisions, day after day, determine the direction of their lives. Think about it. Every time you decide to hit snooze instead of waking up early, you're making a choice. Every time you scroll mindlessly on your phone instead of reading or learning something new, you're making a choice. And every time you let fear or laziness hold you back, you're making a choice. These micro decisions might seem harmless in the moment, but over time they stack up and create your future. They shape your success or they trap you in mediocrity. Now ask yourself, what are your daily choices saying about you? Are they moving you closer to your goals or pushing you further away? If you want a different future, you need to start making better choices, no matter how small they seem, because those little choices are the ones that will add up to your success or your downfall. Success isn't built in a day, it's built in the thousands of tiny choices you make when no one is watching. This is where the 1% rule comes into play. It's simple. If you improve by just 1% every day, that small growth will compound over time and lead to massive success. Most people think success comes from huge leaps, but the truth is, it's the small, consistent improvements that make the biggest difference. Imagine if you were to get just 1% better every day. After a year, you'd be 37 times better than when you started. That's the power of consistency. But most people ignore the small stuff. They want big results, but they aren't willing to put in the daily effort. They skip the small steps, thinking they don't matter. But here's the truth. Those small steps are everything. If you want to achieve extraordinary things, stop looking for shortcuts. Start focusing on the small daily improvements. Whether it's getting a bit better at your craft, learning something new, or simply making better choices every day, the small changes will add up. The question is, are you willing to make those small improvements each day, even when they seem insignificant, because that's where the magic happens. Your habits are either making you or breaking you. There is no middle ground. If you're not actively taking control of your habits, they will take control of you. And most people are letting their habits break them without even realizing it. They're choosing convenience over discipline, comfort over growth, and mediocrity over excellence. Here's the reality. Your daily choices either bring you closer to your goals or push you further away from them. Every time you choose to stay comfortable, you are sacrificing your future. Every time you let distractions rule your day, you are handing your life over to chance. But it doesn't have to be this way. You have the power to break free from the habits that are holding you back. You have the power to choose new, productive habits that will push you forward. Ask yourself, are your habits serving you or are they sabotaging you? Are they getting you closer to your dreams or keeping you stuck in a rut? It's time to take ownership. Your habits are the foundation of your future. And right now you have the opportunity to build a future that's extraordinary. It's time to make a choice. Stop letting your habits control you and start taking control of your habits. Success starts in the mind long before it shows up in your life. If you're stuck in mediocrity, it's not because of your circumstances, it's because of your mindset. Your beliefs, your thoughts, and your attitude determine the direction your life will take. Think about it. If you believe you're not good enough, that you'll never be successful, that life is unfair, you will act accordingly. Your actions will reflect those beliefs, and you'll create the results that match them. But if you believe that success is possible, that you are capable of great things, your actions will shift too. You'll begin taking the steps necessary to make your dreams a reality. Your mindset is the filter through which you see the world. It either limits you or sets you free. A fixed mindset keeps you locked in place, convinced that who you are today is who you will always be. But a growth mindset opens up a world of possibilities. It allows you to learn, adapt, and rise above any challenge. So ask yourself, what does your mindset tell you about your future? Are you limiting yourself with negative beliefs, or are you ready to step into a mindset that will push you to greatness? If you change the way you think, you change the way you act. And when you change the way you act, you change the course of your life. The difference between an average thinker and a high achiever is all in the mindset. People with a fixed mindset believe their abilities are set in stone. They think, I'm good at this and I'm bad at that, and that's where it stops. They avoid challenges, they give up easily, and they see failure as a reflection of their limitations. On the other hand, people with a growth mindset believe that their abilities can be developed with effort, learning, and persistence. They embrace challenges, they view failure as a stepping stone to success, and they are constantly looking for ways to grow. Imagine your mindset as a thermostat. Whatever temperature you set it to is the level at which you will perform. If you set it to average, that's where you'll stay. But if you set it to exceptional, that's the level at which you will rise. The key to breaking free from mediocrity is recognizing that your mindset is not fixed. It's something you can change. You can choose to shift from I can't to I can. From this is too hard to I'll figure it out. This shift is what separates the winners from the rest. If you want to go from average to exceptional, you have to adopt a growth mindset and believe that there are no limits to what you can achieve. If you want extraordinary results, you have to think and act 10 times bigger than you ever thought possible. The 10X mentality is about setting goals so big, so ambitious, that they scare you. It's about demanding more from yourself than you ever thought you could. And it's about taking massive action. Action that forces you to grow, take risks, and stretch beyond your limits. Most people set small, safe goals. They play it conservative, hoping to avoid failure. But here's the problem. Small goals get small results, and small results create small lives. When you think bigger, you force yourself to raise your standards. You stop settling for good enough and start demanding excellence. You start making decisions that align with your bigger vision, not your comfort zone. You start taking massive action instead of waiting for the perfect conditions or the right time. The 10X mentality is about shifting your thinking from, I want to achieve this, to I'm going to achieve this, and I'm going to do whatever it takes. It's about going all in, committing fully to your vision, and making sure that nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop you. So ask yourself, what would happen if you set a 10X goal? How much more would you push yourself? How much more would you achieve? It's time to think bigger and act bolder, because when you aim high, you will rise higher. Rewiring your mind for success is not a one-time event, it's an ongoing process. You see, your brain is like a computer. It's been programmed by your experiences, your environment, and the stories you've told yourself. If you want to change your life, you need to reprogram your mind. You need to create new thought patterns that align with your goals and success. The first step is identifying the limiting beliefs that are holding you back. What stories are you telling yourself? What beliefs do you have that keep you from reaching your full potential? Do you think you're not good enough? Do you tell yourself success is for others, not for you? Once you identify these limiting beliefs, it's time to replace them with empowering ones. You have the power to choose your thoughts. And the more you focus on positive, growth-oriented thoughts, the more you will see those beliefs come to life in your act. This is where visualization comes in. Picture yourself achieving your goals. See yourself succeeding, taking bold action and reaching new heights. The more you visualize success, the more your mind will start to believe it's possible. Rewiring your mind isn't easy. It takes time, effort, and consistent practice. But if you want to break free from mediocrity, you must change the way you think. And when you do, you'll unlock the door to unlimited success. Your friends, family, and social circle might be the reason you're still stuck. We often think we're the sum of our actions, our work ethic, or our ambitions. But here's the truth. You are also the sum of the people you spend the most time with. Your circle, whether you realize it or not, has a massive influence on your life. Have you ever noticed how some people just seem to get ahead no matter what, while others stay exactly where they are? It's not just luck. It's their environment. If you surround yourself with people who are constantly complaining, settling for less, and not challenging themselves, that's exactly the mindset that will rub off on you. Your environment shapes your thoughts, your habits, and your actions. So if you want to elevate your life, you have to elevate your circle. If you want to be successful, you have to surround yourself with people who push you to be better, who hold you accountable, and who inspire you to go further than you thought possible. Don't make the mistake of staying in a circle that holds you back. Start curating the people you spend time with. Your circle is your destiny. If you want to move forward, it's time to upgrade your environment. Have you ever heard of crab mentality? It's when people, intentionally or not, pull others down to maintain the status quo. Imagine a group of crabs in a bucket. When one starts to climb out, the others pull it back in. It's an insidious force where people around you, whether friends, family, or coworkers, can unconsciously hold you back from reaching your potential. They may not do it out of malice. They do it because they're afraid of change, of someone breaking free while they stay stuck. This is why it's so important to recognize who you're surrounding yourself with. If your circle isn't pushing you forward, it's probably pulling you back. These people will tell you that your dreams are too big, that you should be realistic, or that you're aiming too high. They aren't bad people, but they're limiting their own potential, and by extension yours. The moment you realize this, you have a choice. You can continue allowing the crab mentality to pull you down, or you can break free from the circle of mediocrity. Your success doesn't have to be limited by those who are afraid to step outside their comfort zones. You can create a new environment, a growth-oriented environment. Your network is like the soil. If you plant yourself in bad soil, you can't grow. The people you surround yourself with are the ones who will shape your future. If you hang out with people who are stagnant, fearful, and resistant to change, you're going to stay stagnant too. But if you choose to spend time with ambitious, driven, growth-minded individuals, they will lift you up and inspire you to be better. Think about the most successful people you know. Chances are they've intentionally curated their environment. They've surrounded themselves with individuals who challenge them, who motivate them to think bigger, and who hold them to higher standards. This doesn't happen by accident. It happens because they understand the power of proximity. The people you spend time with are a reflection of who you are, and they will influence your thoughts, your actions, and your mindset. If you want to grow, you have to place yourself in an environment where growth is encouraged and expected. Ask yourself, who in your life is pushing you forward? Who is holding you back? If you want to create massive success, it's time to upgrade your circle. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, so choose wisely. If you want to reach new heights, you need to build a network that's focused on growth and success. Start by being intentional about who you spend your time with. Look for people who are driven, who are constantly learning, and who challenge you to think bigger. Seek out mentors, people who have already achieved the success you're striving for. But it's not just about having the right people around you, it's about becoming the right person too. If you want to attract a powerful, growth-minded circle, you need to be a powerful, growth-minded individual. Start developing the traits you want to see in others: discipline, resilience, and a willingness to learn. It's also important to limit your time with negative influences. You don't have to cut people out completely, but you do need to be mindful of where you invest your time. If someone is consistently bringing you down, distracting you from your goals, or discouraging your progress, it might be time to distance yourself. Building a growth-oriented circle isn't easy, but it's essential if you want to reach your full potential. You need people who will push you, who will believe in you when you don't believe in yourself, and who will hold you accountable. Your circle can either make or break you. Make sure yours is pushing you towards success. Information is useless without execution. It's time to move. Too many people spend their lives gathering knowledge, reading books, taking courses, and attending seminars, yet they never take action. They think that if they learn enough, success will just fall into their laps. But here's the harsh truth: knowledge alone won't change your life. It's the action you take that makes the difference. The world is full of educated, smart, capable people who are stuck because they never acted on what they knew. They collect information, but they never apply it. Knowledge without action is a dead weight. It'll hold you in place instead of propelling you forward. Every day you wait to take action, you're letting opportunities slip away. You can read all the books in the world, but until you step up and do something with that knowledge, it won't matter. So I have to ask you, how many more times will you say tomorrow before you run out of time? How many more days, weeks, or months are you willing to waste waiting for the perfect moment to act? There is no perfect moment. The perfect moment is now. If you want to break free from mediocrity, you must stop waiting for the right time. Take the first step today, no matter how small it may seem, because the only time that guarantees change is the moment you act. Progress doesn't come from perfect planning, it comes from consistent, relentless action. Most people want to start big. They want to take huge steps towards success, thinking that one giant leap will make all the difference. But here's the truth. Massive success isn't built in one day. It's built by taking small, steady steps over time. This is the power of momentum. The more you act, the more you build the habit of action. It starts with the smallest step, even if it feels insignificant. That first step begins to gain momentum. And before you know it, you've made more progress than you ever thought possible. The key is consistency. It doesn't matter if you make small mistakes along the way. What matters is that you keep moving forward. Every time you take action, you build a little more momentum. Eventually, that momentum will carry you forward, even when it feels hard to keep going. If you wait for the perfect plan, you'll never start. Instead, take action now, even if it's imperfect. Your momentum will build as you move forward. Every small step adds up, and over time, those small steps will create the big changes you're looking for. So stop overthinking, stop waiting, and start moving. Because every step you take is a step toward the life you want to build. The key to success isn't avoiding failure, it's learning from it faster than anyone else. If you're afraid to fail, you're never going to reach your full potential. Most people avoid failure at all costs. They're so focused on getting everything perfect that they miss out on the lessons failure has to offer. But the most successful people, they fail, and fail often. The difference is they fail fast. They make quick decisions, they take risks, and they learn from their mistakes as quickly as possible. They know that failure isn't something to fear, it's something to embrace. Every failure is an opportunity to learn and grow. Here's the problem with perfection. You wait for everything to be just right, but while you're waiting, the world moves on, opportunities pass you by, and you remain stuck in indecision. The truth is, the best way to learn is by doing. The sooner you fail, the sooner you learn. So stop waiting for the perfect time to act. Fail fast, learn faster, and keep going. The quicker you get started, the quicker you'll reach your goals. Fear, doubt, and procrastination are the silent killers of success. And if you don't take control of them, they will destroy everything you're working for. Every time you procrastinate, you're giving in to fear. You're letting doubt take control, and you're avoiding the discomfort of taking action. But here's the truth. If you want to succeed, you have to do the things you're afraid to do, the things that make you uncomfortable. The longer you let fear and doubt rule your life, the more power they have. But the moment you take action, even when it's scary, you take that power back. The more you act, the less control fear has over you. Here's a simple strategy. Write down the one thing you've been avoiding, the thing you know you need to do but have been putting off. Now do it right now. Once you take that first step, fear loses its grip. You'll realize that most of what you were afraid of was just a story you told yourself, and once you've confronted that fear, it becomes much easier to take the next step. So stop letting fear and doubt control your life. Destroy them by taking action, because the longer you wait, the more power they have. The graveyard is full of people who thought they had more time. This is the hardest truth to swallow. Time is the one thing you can never get back. Every minute you waste today is a minute you'll never reclaim. Yet too many people live as if time is unlimited. They waste it, squander it, and take it for granted. Every day that passes is one step closer to the end of your life. And when you're lying on your deathbed, you won't care about the meetings you attended or the hours you spent on social media. You'll care about the time you spent doing what mattered. You'll regret the moments you didn't take advantage of, the dreams you never pursued, and the chances you didn't take. The sad reality is that most people only realize the value of time when it's too late. They wait for the right moment, but that moment never comes. The truth is, there is no perfect moment. There's only now. So stop waiting for a sign, a perfect condition, or a better time. Start today. Take the actions that will lead to the life you want to live. Because when you're out of time, it's too late to make up for lost opportunities. What will you regret more, failing or never even trying? The greatest source of pain isn't failure, it's regret. And the thing that people regret the most isn't what they tried and failed at. It's what they never tried at all. The things they never pursued because they were too afraid, too uncertain, or too distracted. You see, failure is temporary. It's an experience, a lesson that leads to growth. But regret lasts forever. It's the nagging voice in your head that tells you, what if I had done this differently? What if I had taken that leap? The longer you wait, the heavier that regret becomes. Think about the end of your life. Do you want to look back and say, I wish I had tried more? Or do you want to look back and be proud of the risks you took, the actions you took, and the life you lived? The pain of never trying is far worse than the pain of failure. Because the person who fails can always get back up, but the person who never tries, they're the ones who never get a chance to succeed. So ask yourself, what's worse, the fear of failing or the regret of never trying? Every day is like a blank check. How are you spending it? Imagine every day is a fresh check for 24 hours. At the end of the day, you have to cash it. The question is, how are you spending that time? Are you using it wisely, investing it in your goals, your dreams, in your growth? Or are you squandering it on distractions, procrastination, and things that don't move you forward? Time is currency, and once it's spent, it's gone. You can't save it for later. You can't roll it over, and you can't get it back. Every day is a new opportunity to either invest in your future or waste it. So ask yourself, what are you doing with your blank check today? Are you investing in something that will pay dividends in the future, or are you spending it on short-term distractions that won't matter tomorrow? The longer you wait, the more you spend your time on things that don't serve you, the harder it becomes to change course. But every day is a new chance to start fresh. Every day is a blank check. How will you spend it? If you don't change now, you'll wake up in 10 years in the same place, or worse. The choice is yours. You're at a crossroads right now. You can keep doing what you've been doing and stay exactly where you are. Or you can make the decision today to break free from mediocrity, to take control of your future, challenge your comfort zone, and go after what you really want. Time doesn't wait for anyone. It doesn't care if you're ready. It doesn't care if you're scared. It keeps moving forward, and if you're not moving with it, you'll be left behind. So what's it gonna be? Are you gonna stay stuck in the same place, doing the same things, and getting the same results? Or are you going to take charge, make the hard decisions, and finally start living the life you know you're capable of? This is your moment. This is the point where everything can change, but only if you choose it. The power is in your hands, and your future starts today. What will you choose? What we've discussed here today is not just about theory, it's about practical, real-world steps that you can take right now to start transforming your life. We've talked about the importance of your mindset, how your habits shape your destiny, the need to break free from the comfort zone, and the undeniable fact that time is your most valuable asset. These aren't abstract concepts. They're your roadmap to success. Success doesn't come by accident, and it doesn't happen overnight. It's built on small, consistent steps every day. The way you think, the choices you make, the people you surround yourself with, and the actions you take will determine the future you create. But here's the catch. Success doesn't wait for you. It doesn't pause while you figure things out. So if you're serious about achieving greatness, it's time to start today. The choice is in your hands. Now I ask you, are you ready to change? Are you ready to break free from the patterns that have held you back for so long? The truth is, you already have everything you need to succeed. You have the power to change your life, to start taking massive action, to choose a mindset of growth and possibility. But it's up to you to take the first step. So, what will you do? Will you keep waiting for the perfect moment? Or will you commit to the journey, take action, and change your life starting now? Your future is in your hands. You can choose to stay the same or choose to grow. You can choose to stay comfortable or choose to embrace discomfort and reach for greatness. The decision is yours, and it starts today. Here's the truth. You are the architect of your own future. No one else can live your life for you. No one else can walk your path, and no one else can decide how high you'll go except you. The choice is yours. You can stay stuck in the comfort zone accepting mediocrity, or you can step outside, take the leap, and create a life that's anything but average. Don't let fear hold you back. Don't let doubt stop you from taking action. Don't let the world convince you that your dreams are too big. Your dreams are valid. Your potential is limitless. The only thing standing between you and your success is the decision to take action today. If you leave here with nothing else, remember this. Success doesn't happen in the future, it happens right now. The only moment that matters is this one. So stop waiting, take action, make a change, and in 10 years when you look back, you'll be glad you did. Your future starts now. What are you going to do with it?